All right, moving on to our next game. This is the Commodore PET. Trying to play football. Let's see what happens. We don't have any artwork for this one. Let's just boot it up. Hopefully my PET doesn't crash. There are several models of the PET, and sometimes you have to boot the right one. All right, looks like we got it. All right, so this is Raiders football. You don't pick your team. You're just the Raiders. You will quarterback the Raiders and call the plays by using the numbers. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. So we have 7 different plays. Who are we playing against today? Let's do someone in the chat. Arcade Jeff is who we're playing against. Arcade Jeff won the toss. And Arcade Jeff, select to receive. It looks like I'm just going to be pushing numbers. Oh, my goodness. Awesome sounds from the Commodore PET. So, touchdown. It is played like a text game, or I should say more specifically an interactive fiction game or text adventure game. So it's just going to give me decisions, but right now I'm not making anything. It's telling us what's happening, and then I'm going to make the decisions on the keyboard. So here we go. It's telling us there's a simple run, and then someone was offsides. Do we accept the penalty? I'm going to say no. No, I don't accept the penalty. If you type, oh, you typed yes or no. Sorry, no. There we go. So it is a interactive fiction football game, and I wouldn't expect an arcade or action type sports game on the Commodore PET, but this is very interesting. I've never played a interactive fiction football game. So here we go. I pick my next play. Let's do play 7. Oh wait, so wrong one. Delete. Oh, see, I already pushed it on the keyboard for the Commodore PET. Depending on what model you're using, you may have a keyboard that is completely different than something we'd use now. And because of that, I pushed a key which they consider as break. So it literally breaks the code because this is in machine language, and then the game just crashes and busts. But we have a taste of what a football game would be like on a home system. I mean, a home computer. It's too cool. So novel for the time, but something you would want to play, I'd say below average. We're going to give this one 2 stars, which would be the best of the bad for a home computer game. And from the chat, Chiptune Chronicle said, it's like Mattel handheld football. The Mattel handheld football was dashes that you would control in your hand, and the idea of just being able to go anywhere and play a football game was awesome. But this one actually gave you descriptions of what was happening. The text on the screen, that's pretty fun. All right, moving on to our next game. This is Galaxia. We've already seen Galaxian, and who is this? Who's ripping off Galaxian? Let's see. All right, so here is the artwork for Galaxia. Looks like this is from Zaccaria. Zaccaria is an Italian publisher or distributor in Europe. And there's the arcade cabinet. So it looks like they're either making their own game, copying elements from Galaxian, or it's literally taken from the same board as Galaxian. Yeah, so just left and right and fire. And there's the example of the screenshot. Oh yeah, it really looks like Galaxian. All right, let's take a look. We are in the arcades, 1979, checking out Galaxia by Zaccaria. So we're in Europe. This is what they would have seen. I'd hope they get Galaxian out before Galaxia in Europe, but we're not sure. I'm going to switch my view so you can see. We got really nice instructions, just like you see on the side of their arcade cabinet on this side. And let's put a quarter in and see what it's like. There's our 25 cents, and push and start. There we go. That sounds like the classic golden age of arcade right there. Okay, here we go. So left and right and fire. Oh yeah, plays very well, smooth. The character's moving really fast on the screen. But every shot, it doesn't make a sound effect, but killing an enemy does make a sound effect. Oh, they got me. And it's using the same as Space Invaders, 1 bullet at a time. As soon as that 1 bullet leaves the screen, then you can shoot again. Yeah, so you're pretty much vulnerable unless you make a shot. So you want to make all your shots count. Oh yeah, plays great. I really would like to know if this came out in Europe before Galaxian and people experienced Galaxia. Maybe in Italy, they saw this before Galaxian. We're not sure exactly when this was released in '79. We have a really good idea of when Galaxian was released, and that was what we saw earlier this year. All right, so I'm also looking at the top of the screen. They're doing another mechanic we saw in Astro War, which is the fuel gauge, which is kind of like the time meter showing how long you can play, but it's not giving a different engagement of enemies. Astro Wars would say you're playing these enemies, and then you play harder enemies if you beat them, and it gave you kind of a level up feeling. This one does not. So for the time, we're going to give this one slightly below average, so 2.5 stars for Galaxia. Expected what you'd see in the time, but it could be better. We've seen better clones of Galaxian. All right, moving on to our next game. We're in the G's, playing all the rest of the games that came out in sometime in 1979. This is Galaxy Wars. Galaxy Wars. Here is the artwork. This is by Universal. Big screen and fantastic acoustic effect, expanding your interest, i.e. money. These advertisement flyers are all about, if you buy this, you will get more money in your arcade. There's our arcade cabinet for Galaxy Wars. They called these, at the time, space games. So if we wanted to call it a genre, it'd be like, it's the newest space game that came out called Galaxy Wars. And looks like it was programmed only in black and white. Let's say you save on a lot of chips on the board. Okay, let's see if we got different versions. So here you go, we got the Taito version and then Universal, and then someone made a bootleg called Star Wars, also for Galaxy Wars. Nice. And from the chat, Arcade Jeff said most Universal games are awesome. Yeah, the ones we've seen have been pretty good. Let's take a look. It's 1979. We're in the arcade playing Galaxy Wars. Every game. Oh, we got the artwork too. Nice. You can't see the rest of me, but that is what I'm wearing from the waist down right now. That outfit. All right, let's put a coin in and see what happens. Push one player. And the color we're seeing is simulating the overlay, or manipulating the overlay, which would have been plexiglass. Whoa. Ladies and gentlemen, this one is not a fixed shooter. This is using another element. When I start off, I can move left and right, but if you watch what happens when I shoot. When I shoot, I turn into a missile, and as the missile goes up, it's passing through different colors of plexiglass. So that's why it's showing it as the same color as anything else. But it's so slow. The goal is I'm moving left and right. Oh, okay, I can use a thruster. There we go. So you can thrust to shoot up, but then you're trying to get to one of the aliens at the top. So it is... Where's my fuel? How long can I thrust this like this? Can I just keep going? Oh, and they got me that time. So you determine whenever you want to go faster or have the missile go faster. All right, let's try it again. So I'm moving my way up. I got to get up to the top without hitting any of the asteroids on the way, and then make it and hit the spaceship on top. So a different idea. It's a fixed shooter, but it's not shooting. It's more of a dodging asteroids kind of game. That's fun. I really would like to know how accurate this plexiglass color is. It's using some of the basic colors we've seen from other arcade games over the top. Yeah, so you're just dodging the bullets, dodging the asteroids, trying to get to the top, and then hit the ships at the top of the screen. Cool. Very fun, interesting for the time. I'd say that we're going to go ahead and give that one a 3-star rating for Galaxy Wars by Universal. So different idea, and plays kind of simple. I wouldn't say as big of an action-paced game. It is action, but you know, it's not like you're shooting a bunch of space aliens.